everybody, in this video we are going to choose a type of study. There are lots of studies out there to choose from, but we're going to look at three main studies. The first study we're going to look at is a sample survey. So a sample survey asks every member of a sample the same set of questions, and then they record their answers. So this is what we've seen in polling. This is like asking what is your birthday and asking the full class what your birthday is. You're just basically taking information from members of the sample set. The next type of study that we're going to focus on is an experiment. So an experiment involves applying a treatment to some group or groups and measuring the effects of that treatment. This can be a brand new drug being tested, and we can see how the drug affects some people, and we would have to have a controlled group or a placebo for others, because we would have to measure the effects of that drug against a controlled group. The last kind of study that we're going to focus on is an observational study. So in this case, we're going to just observe what's happening. So this would be like if you went to a park bench, you sat on the park bench and you're watching how many people are walking by wearing pants. You're not affecting whether those people wore pants or not. There's nothing that you put on them to wear those pants. As a matter of fact, you don't even know who the people are, and they don't even know they're part of a study, but you're just counting the way that people chose to wear pants that day. All right, so those are the three different types of studies we're going to be focusing on. We do have some questions, so we could kind of look at other scenarios that each of these would kind of fall under. So the first scenario that we're going to look at is a newspaper, and the newspaper polls randomly selected residents in a town about which mayoral candidate they prefer. Well, looking at my three studies, let's think about which study this falls under. Would it be a sample survey, an experiment, or an observational study? Well, since our newspaper is going out and asking this question, this would fall under the sample survey. Second scenario, a doctor conducts a clinical trial of a new blood pressure medicine by prescribing it to half the patients in the study and measuring the effects it has on their blood pressure. Well, I've used this already as an example where we see a lot of pharmaceuticals taking a controlled group and taking the group that's being experimented on. And since this is an experimental group, this is the experiment, and we're seeing the outcomes of introducing a new variable into the environment. The last scenario here, and you're going to guess which study this follows because we've been following this in order, but a grocery store wonders how many customers bring reusable grocery bags to the store. They have an employee stand at the checkout and count the numbers of people using reusable bags. Okay, here again, they're not influencing, they're not telling customers, oh, we'll give you $1 off if you bring a reusable bag, and see how that variable plays into the behavior of people. No, they're just one day decided to say, well, today I want to see how many people bring reusable bags, so we're just going to kind of get that baseline and see how many people bring in these bags, and we're going to count it. They're not influencing the shoppers to bring those bags in. Okay, so there are the three studies. So let's look at other scenarios with this. Let's look at hiding the sample survey. It's just kind of hanging out there. There we go. So we have how many hours of sleep a day do lions sleep? So this is our question. Let's think about what study should go here. How many hours of sleep do lions sleep? Well, this would be more of that observational study because again, we're just observing the lions. We're just observing how they sleep. We're not going to go in and put an alarm clock or try to wake up the lions in any way. Okay, the second question. How many students in the school would like the cafeteria to serve breakfast? Well, to find out how many students in the school would like the cafeteria to serve breakfast, we're going to have to go out and ask how many students in the school. So this would probably fall under, I would say, a sample survey, because we need to go get a sample and we need, sample survey, because we need to go ask the question. We need to go poll the students to see how many would like that breakfast in the cafeteria. The last one is a group of plants is not growing well compared to the rest. What should you change to improve their growth? So now we're putting a variable. We're adding a new variable into the plant growth. And since we're adding a new variable and then we want to measure that change in that plant growth, what we're going to be doing here is an experiment, because again, we are adding that new variable in, and then we're going to see what the outcome is going to be of adding that new variable, in this case, possibly new soil or maybe nutrition, more water, more sun. Some people try music, but there is something that we're doing to change the plant's environment to see how the plant reacts to it. All right, so that is the three studies. So a sample survey, an experiment, and an observational study. If you have any questions, always feel free to ask, and I will catch you in the next video.